When thrown out of a luxury car dealership for wearing a MAGA hat, Barron Trump's response was not one of fury, but of a movement that shook the world. The doors of a luxury car dealership swung open as Barron Trump walked in. His imposing height and commanding presence immediately caught everyone's attention. He adjusted his red hat with the famous slogan, "Make America Great Again," in bright letters, catching the light. It wasn't just an accessory, it was a statement he carried with confidence. This was no casual visit. In a few weeks, Barron would turn 18, and today was the day to find the car that would mark this special occasion. Inside the dealership, the air was a mix of polished leather, expensive perfume, and the metallic smell of new machinery. Rows of luxury cars gleamed under the showroom's strategically placed lights. To most, they were just cars. To Barron, they were masterpieces of engineering, each with a story to tell. He walked slowly, hands in his pockets, taking in the curves of the latest models. A gold coupe caught his eye. Its sleek profile seemed almost alive, the kind of car that promised memories before the engine even started. "Excuse me," Barron said, his voice low but firm, gesturing toward the coupe. A nearby salesman glanced up, his friendly expression faltering for a moment when he noticed the hat. He hesitated, but approached cautiously. "Can I help you with something?" the salesperson asked, his tone polite but clipped. "I'm interested in this model," Barron replied, maintaining eye contact. "Does it come in black?" Before the salesperson could respond, the showroom manager appeared, interrupting them like a cold wind. His eyes narrowed when he saw Barron's hat. "Can I help you?" the manager asked, his lips curling into a forced smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. Barron held out his hand hopefully. "I'm looking for a car to celebrate my 18th birthday. I was hoping to learn more about this one." The manager didn't shake Barron's hand. Instead, he crossed his arms, the smile fading completely. "We don't play politics here," he said coolly. "This isn't the place for campaign equipment." Barron laughed, the words hanging in the air like static electricity. "I'm not here for politics," he said calmly. "I'm here to buy a car." "Well, I suggest you take your business elsewhere," the manager replied, his voice loud enough to turn heads. A hush fell over the showroom. Customers stopped mid-conversation, their eyes darting between Barron and the manager. Barron's jaw twitched briefly, but his tone remained firm. "I'm a serious buyer. Is there any reason you'd ask me to leave?" The manager's expression hardened. "We reserve the right to refuse service. This is private property." For a moment, the room seemed to hold its breath. Barron looked around, meeting the gazes of the other customers before turning back to the manager. "Understood," he said calmly, turning toward the exit. As he walked out, the automatic doors closed behind him, leaving the showroom in an uncomfortable silence. What Barron did next not only reshaped his day, but sent shockwaves far beyond the walls of the dealership. Barron walked through the warm afternoon air, his mind replaying the scene that had just occurred. The humiliation didn't affect him as much as the principle of the matter. He wasn't angry, he was disappointed. For someone born into a world where respect was non-negotiable, the encounter was a reminder of how quickly people could judge based on superficial assumptions. He glanced back at the store, the windows now reflecting the tense atmosphere inside. Grabbing his cell phone, Barron stepped away from a nearby lamppost. He gathered himself, opened Lux Auto House's website, and found the customer service number. Within minutes, he was speaking to a representative. His tone was measured, detailing the events calmly and without exaggeration. "I'm not asking for special treatment," he said, "but I expect professionalism no matter what I'm wearing." The distant representative assured him that the complaint would be escalated. But for Barron, that wasn't enough. He understood the responsibility and knew that the situation needed shade to reach a resolution. Just as he walked away, a notification sounded on his phone. His story was already gaining traction. Despite him, a customer at the showroom had seen the entire scene and recorded it. The video, titled "Luxury Car Dealership Kicks Out Young Customer Over MAGA Hat," was circulating on social media. Barron watched the video in silence. The camera captured every word, every laugh from the manager, and every ounce of composure Barron maintained. The comments section was a firestorm, some applauding his grace under pressure, others condemning the manager's actions. The video racked up thousands of views within hours, with hashtags like #RespectAllCustomers and #KindnessOverPolitics gaining traction. Instead of feeling vindicated, Barron saw the bigger picture. This wasn't just about him. It was about how easy it was for prejudices to overshadow common decency. He decided to take control of the narrative. That night, sitting at a mahogany table in the family's Palm Beach home, Barron began writing a message. It wasn't a shout-out or an attack. It was a call for unity. He spoke about the importance of respecting one another, even when opinions differ. Kindness is not political, he wrote, and it costs nothing. He posted the message as a retweet of the video, adding, "Thank you to everyone who shared their thoughts. Let's use this moment to remind ourselves of what really matters. Respect." The post went viral overnight, but the real impact was yet to come. That evening, Barron's retweet exploded across social media, garnering thousands of views, likes, and retweets. Influential figures from celebrities to business leaders weighed in, many applauding his calm response and others demanding accountability from Lux Auto House. Social media picked up on the story, with headlines like, "Young Trump responds to discrimination with poetry," and "Luxury dealership faces backlash over bias incident." Meanwhile, the store was in crisis. Corporate headquarters issued a statement condemning the unprofessional actions of an individual manager, promising an internal investigation, but the damage had already been done. Customers flooded the store's review pages, sharing their displeasure and vowing never to shop there again. Former employees came forward, anonymously complaining about their own negative experiences with the same manager. Barron watched the statement with a mix of skepticism and determination. This wasn't how he planned to spend the days leading up to his birthday, but he felt a responsibility to turn the moment into something positive. As he read through the comments, one stopped him. "Imagine what we could do if everyone handled conflict with this level of maturity. Barron, you should lead a campaign for respect and friendship." The comment planted a seed. What if this incident could inspire a broader conversation? What if people could overcome their prejudices and start seeing each other as individuals instead of labels? As the idea spread, Barron called his team. He didn't want this to be about him or his name. It had to be about the message. Together, they began brainstorming ideas for a campaign centered on respect and friendship, regardless of political, social, or cultural differences. But first, Barron had unfinished business. He still wanted his dream car. What he did next would not only make his wish come true, but send a powerful message to the world. Later, Barron made a decision that would turn history on its head. Instead of walking away from the negative experience, he turned his attention to another luxury car brand known for its innovation and inclusivity, Orem Motors. Their vehicles were as prestigious as their values, which aligned with the message Barron wanted to amplify. Barron arrived at Orem Motors' corporate office in person, explaining the situation in detail. Company leadership responded quickly, offering him a private tour of their Miami, Florida, facility. They saw an opportunity, not just to sell a car, but to support a message of unity and respect. 2 days later, Barron arrived at Orem Motors. This time, the reception was vastly different. A senior executive greeted him at the door, shaking his hand. The atmosphere inside the office was welcoming, and Barron took his time browsing the models. Eventually, he came across Orem's Apex, a sleek black electric car that combined cutting-edge technology with innovative design. As he was finalizing the purchase, Barron proposed an idea. "What if we turned this moment into something bigger?" he suggested. "A campaign about respect, not just in business, but in everyday life." The executives loved the idea. Within hours, plans were in motion. Orem Motors agreed to support an international campaign, with Barron as the face of the movement. Together, they announced the Drive Respect initiative. Its mission was simple: to promote friendship, understanding, and professionalism in all walks of life. The campaign's launch coincided with Barron's 18th birthday. A promotional video showed him receiving his dream car, not as a celebration of wealth or status, but as a symbol of resilience and the power to transform negativity into progress. "Respect is not just something we ask for," Barron said in the video. "It's something we give. Let's take it forward." But the impact of this campaign would extend far beyond the dealership floor. The Drive Respect campaign quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The hashtag #DriveRespect trended for weeks, with people sharing their own stories of facing prejudice and responding with grace and friendship. Social media was filled with images and videos of individuals wearing campaign t-shirts, standing next to their cars and urging people to treat others with dignity, regardless of their differences. Schools, community centers, and businesses began adopting the campaign's principles, hosting workshops and discussions on the importance of respect and understanding in both personal and professional spaces. Even rival car brands showed their support, sharing the campaign on their platforms. Meanwhile, Lux Auto House struggled to recover. The manager who fired Barron was fired after an internal investigation, but the damage to the operation's reputation persisted. Customers continued to boycott, and the operation faced a major drop in sales. Barron, however, refused to gloat. When asked about Lux Auto House in an interview, he simply said, "The goal is not to break people, it's to build bridges. I hope they learn from this." The movement has also gained the attention of public figures across the political spectrum. Many have applauded Barron's maturity, with some noting that his actions transcended partisan divides. He has become a symbol of how individuals can rise above conflict and turn moments of disrespect into opportunities for growth and unity. Barron's father, former President Donald Trump, commented on the campaign during an event, expressing pride in his son's composition and vision. "Barron has shown what it means to stand tall and lead with class," he said. The comment further fueled public interest in the campaign, though Barron remained careful to keep the focus on its universal message. As the weeks passed, Drive Respect evolved into more than just a campaign. It became a movement that inspired change at the corporate level, encouraging companies to train employees in professionalism and bias awareness. Barron, now firmly in the public eye, continued to advocate for the cause, attending events, giving speeches, and collaborating with organizations to expand the campaign's reach. But it wasn't just the public impact that made this journey unforgettable. There was a profound and personal lesson that Barron would carry with him for the rest of his life. On the evening of his 18th birthday, Barron sat on the deck of his family's Palm Beach estate, the Orem Apex parked in the driveway below. The setting sun painted the sky in shades of orange and gray, and the sound of the ocean provided a peaceful backdrop. It was a moment of quiet reflection, a respite from the whirlwind of the world of the past few weeks. His phone vibrated on the table. It was a text from his mother, Melania. "I'm proud of you. You turned something bad into something meaningful. That's strength." Barron smiled, feeling the weight of her words. It wasn't just about the campaign or the car or the media frenzy. It was about the choices he'd made along the way. For Barron, the biggest challenge wasn't public recognition, but realizing how much power lay in his response to adversity. He could have let anger or frustration dictate his actions, but instead he chose patience, respect, and determination. It was a choice that turned a single moment of humiliation into a message that resonated with millions. He thought back to the encounter at Lux Auto House. The manager's words had stung, but they had also had a greater impact, an opportunity to prove that respect shouldn't depend on status, credentials, or appearances. It was a principle he hoped others would embrace, regardless of their circumstances. As the stars began to appear in the sky, Barron recorded a short video message to his followers, his voice calm and steady. "Today is not just about my birthday," he said. "It's about realizing that we all have the power to choose kindness, even when it's not given to us. Let's keep moving respect forward together." The video quickly went viral, becoming a powerful chapter in the campaign. People across the country, from small-town mechanics to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, shared it with messages of support. The simple but profound lesson that respect could transcend politics, power, and prejudice became a rallying cry for unity. As the video ended, Barron left his audience with a challenge. The next time someone treats you badly, take a deep breath and ask yourself how you can respond with kindness. It may not be easy, but it can change everything. And if you believe in this message, share it. Let's make respect go viral. Barron's story wasn't just about a car or a campaign. It was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to lead with dignity and create change that lasts.